Hey guys, hey brother. Podcast number 2.
Another week.
How good is that? We record it every Friday. We're recording these and then uploading it the following Friday. So we're always sort of a week ahead in relation to this. But welcome guys, welcome back to podcast number 2, the R.A.D podcast. Real authentic dads, talking about real life stuff that affects everyone personally and everyone around you. We're really excited for you to be here with your hosts, Hugh Simpson,
Eric Machado.
And thanks for tuning in. This podcast series is brought to you by the Mobile Barber Shop Depot. We're actually in the physical Mobile Barber Shop. It's a really cool caravan, fitted out, really awesome, that Joey takes around to all weddings and events and cuts hair, like a legit proper barber. He's a...
How many years?
Like 30 years. His blood. His dad Luigi started Luigi's and his brother like proper barbers. So really cool. Thank you for all your support. And today's topic, what are we talking about today, Eric?
Today, we were thinking about this week, what should our next topic be? Obviously, we're fairly new to this, so it's pretty exciting. A lot of things to talk about. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about opportunity, missed opportunity.
Seize the day coming.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are afraid to make decisions.
Yeah.
They're on the cusp of doing something good, and then all of a sudden, usually your best mate or, family or friends that are closest to you are the ones that are telling you a little bit crazy,
Yeah, like a bit of, so like the neg ferrets,
Yes.
I mean, they sort of, people out there, you tell them an idea and they poo-poo it.
Yeah.
Oh, you should do that. What do you know about that? You're not good enough.
Yeah, correct.
It's like, well...
I relate it to us, like when we were talking about a podcast, I listen to a lot of podcasts and I think to myself, like, it's amazing everyone getting their voice out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Telling you their different ideas, their history, their story, basically, like what we're doing. And now we're doing it,
Just from a conversation. 3 weeks ago now, we just decided, you know what, we're doing this thing, and we committed to it. We actually put a timeline and a time frame on it.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks,
yeah,
we're going to do it. And we didn't plan, no preparation. We spoke
preparation.
about it. We Googled some stuff, right? You downloaded a
Yeah,
software.
Podbean, software, GarageBand,
I had this thing at home, and
the mic.
we're learning on the way.
Yeah.
First episode, second. And in 10 episodes time, we'd be like, these guys are pros.
And we know it's not perfect, but you know what? It's authentic, and that's the difference. I was listening to a podcast yesterday actually, and one of the guys at Milet, who very very successful entrepreneur, unbelievable, personal development mentor, and he was saying he was making fun of himself on his first podcast.
Yes.
I think he said 18 months now, 24 months later, it's one of the top podcasts in the world, and it's just about starting. And I think that's has a lot to do with just everything in life, whether it has to do with business, with family, diets, gym, you name it. It's just starting, Just like another podcast I listened to was about this guy that did 50 triathlons in 50 days. And people were freaking out, how's it done? How is that possible? And he goes, it's amazing when you tell your mind, just put the other foot forward, in front of the other. It's amazing what the mind just keeps going.
But just carrying on from last week, last week we spoke about our own stories and how they affected us and brought us to where we are today. And I think it's really powerful for everyone. Everyone's got a story. You might think, my story's worthless or it's not as cool as the next guy's, but you know what? It is. It's powerful. It's got you to where you are today, whether or not you like it or whether or not you don't. But it's certainly got the power for you to kick down some doors, to move forward and create something massive for yourself, whatever that may look like.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be conditioned by what your partner or your best friend thinks. It doesn't have to be conditioned what your parents think or want you to be. It's whatever you want to be. I think that's why the topic today is what we're going to talk about.
Yes. Yeah. Just opportunity and just getting started. And like we said before, podcast number 1 is backing yourself. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't back themselves. We're in a society now that we want everybody.
Why do you think that is?
I think people want other people's approval.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it for themselves, they're doing it for everybody else. And can see this through social media.
Yeah.
I think social media is amazing. It's great. It's great for reach, great for influence, but at the same time, I think it's holding a lot of people back, because they're not confident in their own skin, and they feel like they're going to be judged. And that's something I had to get over. With the podcast, with filming, I've never filmed before. I've never been on film.
Except for the private life.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, but that's in the private life, And it's one of those things where it's serious though, and it's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like I'm out of my comfort zone right now.
Yeah.
Even though I love talking, I love, helping people, but at the same time, when you haven't done it before, it's scary.
Yeah.
It can get daunting.
But how much better do you feel now than last week? A lot more confident.
Yeah. It's a bit hot this week. Actually, Joey, they actually have a pizza oven in here today.
Yeah.
Making pizzas for all the customers coming in.
Keep touching this. It's like actually aircon. This is aircon.
Yeah. So you see me getting a little bit shiny every once in a while. That's the cue for you to turn on the aircon.
Tell me a little bit about you. So, in relation to what we're talking about, like how has it affected you to where you are now? Like, what tools and resources have you drawn upon?
Yes.
To enable you to do the things that you have.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a fair bit of personal development over the years, seminars and stuff like that have helped me. But I think a lot of the time you just gotta look in the mirror and be confident with yourself. God has made you this way. This is the way you look. This is the way you talk. This is the way you
Because everyone's
portray
blessed.
yourself.
Yeah, everyone's blessed with different abilities.
Correct.
Different abilities doesn't mean one person is less able to than another. I think it comes down to when people say, "Oh, look, that guy was blessed like that." Well, yeah, but if you wanted to do that, you could outwork that person. You could outperform that person. You could get up earlier than that person. You could eat better than that person. You could get more self-development than that person,
Right.
and create massive success.
Right.
It's how much energy you put into something, right?
Yeah, and I think who you surround yourself with and who you relate with, like even with yourself, like when I follow you and you're up at basically 5 a.m. every day, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm still not up at 5 a.m. every day, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, when I say, my goal is to get up at 5 a.m. every day, you know what I mean? Stretch, meditate, read. By 7 o'clock when the kids are up, you've already had 2 hours of work in. And I think with us being dads, and anyone with children will relate to this. You have to take that extra time for yourself. It's not going to happen between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to get up those 2 hours early because everyone's asleep. No one's going to bother you. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of the magic happens, I think.
Yeah, Robert Sharma, in his book, The 5 a.m. Club, actually talks it's the victory hour, and he adopts like a 20-20-20 principle. I'm not going to spoil the book for people, but getting up at 5 a.m. is your victory hour, exactly like you said. Like, you accomplish so much personally within that hour before the kids get up, before your wife sort of gets up, that you're able to exercise, self-reflection, meditate, and do some little bit of self-development, whatever that may be.
Yes.
And it's super powerful.
Yes.
I've started doing something, and we've spoken about it, about this. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. and you would have seen in my social media where I've adopted a few new things into my morning routine. It's not just stretching and meditating. It's actually goal setting and reviewing, visualization and expressing gratitude. And people may be thinking, well, what's expressing gratitude? Are you just like happy to be alive? Well, no. I identify my core values, which is, family, longevity, vitality, loving relationships, and communication and things like that. So I circle those things, and then I wake up in the morning. I'm grateful for those things. I start setting my mind up right. So I'm grateful for my kids. So rather than waking up and going, why have you disturbed my meditation by stretching? I've already thought I'm grateful for them, and it changes my mindset a little bit. It changes perspective.
So who influenced you on this? Who, for instance, the 5 a.m. Club, the book, who introduced you to it? Where did you hear it? Was it through a podcast? Was it through a friend? Like, what's pointing you in that direction? Because obviously you have to see it somewhere. The ideas come from somewhere.
Well, I think in combination with my own book, Raw Your Routine, it's sort of, my book's sort of a, where a person's able to dip their toe in the water into self-development, and then from the book they then progress to the next step. So listening to podcasts, go listen to my favourite podcasts, and they interview people all the time, in relation to health, wealth, success, morning routines, millionaire mornings. You've heard all these things, and then I listen to those podcasts they recommend, and I start reading books, and that's where you get. There's like your own mentors. Like people think like a mentor is meant to be an actual person, but a mentor could be like a book or a CD or something that you listen to regularly, right? Because they're mentoring you.
Yes.
So like the 5 a.m. Club, Rob Sharma, I know he's had a huge influence in relation to how I act every morning.
Isn't it amazing that you can get mentored by people that you've never met before?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through podcasts, through books. It's amazing. Like, I think everyone knows what podcasts are,
Yeah.
you know, because I've been surrounded by it for the last couple of years.
Well,
But before that,
it's the new radio, isn't
it is, yeah. But before that, I didn't even know what a podcast
Yeah.
was. I wasn't, you know, listening to podcasts at the time. I was just reading some books. Like I said, a podcast, I haven't read a lot of books. Like some people are reading a book a week. It's quite
and that's what I'm talking about. You need to start doing that.
correct.
So that's why you'll notice when I'm doing like when I'm traveling now, I'll call it communication.
Yes.
It's educating,
I like that.
commuting.
I like that.
Without, I'll stop listening to music, stop listening to crappy
And
stuff.
that's how I am with podcasts as
You've
well
got to
now.
be, man.
You know,
Constantly learning.
because on the radio, it's all good listening to some music that you like, but if you're listening to the radio show, it's just, to me, it's a waste of time.
Junk food
Yeah.
for your brain.
It is. I agree.
Do you mean junk food is?
I agree.
There's so much time in the car to work. We've got half an hour to drive to work. Imagine educating yourself for half an hour.
Yeah. Last night I went to dinner with a couple of close friends. It was a last minute idea, and I was talking to them at dinner about podcasts. There was 6 of us, 6 boys there, having a good time, having a chat. And then I was telling them about, you know, starting a podcast, how good it was. And 2 of them were like, I got to get into this podcasting. I keep hearing about podcasts.
Really?
And the 2 people, very successful business people,
Yeah.
right? That have done no personal development, no podcast. They've been mentored by certain people, you know, face to face, for instance, in their industries and stuff like that. But I think to myself, like, they're so powerful now. Imagine when they embrace and harness podcasts, personal development, reading, and how much more powerful they'll become.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just on a monetary side, but just the frame of mind. Like, the frame of mind is massive for me.
And that's what's going to help you break through those doors of glass ceilings. It's going to make you do things you otherwise wouldn't ordinarily do. You wouldn't ordinarily eat healthy. You wouldn't ordinarily exercise. You wouldn't ordinarily, structure your day or talk about your relationships or communicate properly. But once you start hearing it from other people besides your inner circle, because you know when you're like, if your wife tells you something, she go, oh, you need to do this, you need to lose weight, you need to cut your hair, but you never do it.
Yeah.
But then your buddy or someone else you look up to goes, hey, you need to lose a few pounds. You go, okay,
Straight away.
in the gym.
Yeah.
It's like podcasts.
Yes.
You just hear it from someone else, someone else's perspective that maybe resonate with you. And you're like, I get it. That's what they've been talking about. I'm going to implement that. I'm going to get up earlier. I'm going to meditate. And it's going to make you start doing stuff, right?
So give me an example of, with the work that you're working on yourself in the mornings, specifically, because I know you do a lot of this work in the morning and throughout the day, but mainly I know, 5 a.m. there's Hugh, and you can see him if you follow him on Instagram, Hugh Simpson. He's literally 5 a.m.
Up, meditating.
And I look at it because if I'm up at 5:45 or 6, I look back and it's like 45 minutes ago. He was up doing his thing.
And the reason why I share that on social media is to hopefully encourage.
You're encouraging me.
People to do it. We go, oh, well, you're stretching your undies. I go, well, I'm doing. Why can't you do it? I'm just doing this.
And you know what I love about it, and this goes back to kind of the title of the podcast today, with opportunity and just getting it done. You know what I mean? Just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Whereas
Just
a lot
start.
of other people, just start. A lot of other people would wait until they feel that their body's 110% perfect with their Lululemon pants and a Lululemon shirt,
Perfect.
right?
mindset,
And then
Yeah.
set up the camera in a perfect spot to then do the stretching. But there's Hugh, fresh in his undies with bed head. You know what I mean?
I rested on a cup.
Yeah.
I just press time lapse.
This is what
the
but
kids
you know
go
what?
into the room. And
It's influencing and encouraging me. You know what I mean? And that's how powerful it is. So basically, you're bringing, power into people's minds,
Empowering
people's hands.
people.
You're empowering people to
the right way.
You are. I agree, and it's real. And this is what we want this podcast to be: real. That's why we call it Real Authentic Dads, because we want to be real. We want to be authentic,
Yeah.
and we're dads. you know, and
we
we're going to be
resonate
talking
with
about a lot of
dads.
different
And a lot of
things.
our friends are dads. We have these conversations with them, and they're still stuck in the same ways, doing the same stuff.
Yesterday at dinner, I'm telling you, there was 6 of us there. 5 of us were dads. Our stories basically are like intertwining each other. Like they were the same stories, just about life, about kids, about our wives, about sex, about the pressures of being a male, and in this time, it's difficult, and this is why you need to have a mentor, or you need to have influence with somebody.
Podcast, books.
Yes, because it's going to help you get started in whatever you want to do. Because a lot of people right now are holding back.
Yeah.
And I'm one of them. I was one of them. With a podcast, I was always thinking to myself, like, how amazing would a podcast be? To create a podcast. But to be honest with you, if it was by myself, I wouldn't be doing a podcast right now.
You need the support and encouragement. That's what they say. Like to people, you got to level up your squad. That people that think the same way, that encourage you, that don't bring you down. So you look outside your immediate circle of friends and expand that. And it's really powerful.
Yeah,
That's why, like your morning routine. Just getting back to that, I think that's going to sit. That I know it sets your day up for success. Like you said before, you get that hour of clarity to yourself. And for guys, I did a post on it yesterday, like being gratitude. About guys, self-love for guys. Look, women look after themselves. They go to the beautician, they express love. Their friends, majority of the time, lift them up. You know what I mean? And they practice that. But for guys, like, where do you actually practice self-love and gratitude? Where do you look at yourself in the mirror? It might sound a bit corny now, but you look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I love that guy in the mirror. I'm fit. I'm healthy. I'm successful. Guys don't talk about that.
No.
Let's talk about their bank balance, the car,
Yeah, that's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
And that's a sign of success, but it's not.
No.
Happiness is the sign of success.
Yeah, we're evolving. I think the world's evolving very, very quickly.
Yeah.
There's massive change happening in the world, and that's one of the things I agree with is, being a manly man is not manly anymore. You're seeing a lot of different, foundations, and like I said, I followed that one for a little bit, living. And it's all about men's. It's not weak to speak.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we've all been taught the old school ways to zip it up,
Be
deal
still,
with yourself.
suck it up.
Suck it. It does not work. It does not work.
Not in
Because
today's day and
no.
age.
Because what you're gonna do is just you're gonna get yourself down, and then you're gonna look at yourself and not promote yourself. You need to promote yourself. You need to be your number one raving fan. The number one raving fan needs to be yourself before anyone else. Yeah, if it doesn't come from within, it's not authentic. People will see through it.
But then that comes from doing the work, right? You're kind of born with that stuff, but to have the consciousness around it, you certainly have to do the work to get it out of you.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. So that's really interesting. So tell me, mate, something where it's got you, apart from this podcast, somewhere that you've thought about doing something but you never have, and then you look back and you regret it. Like, I should have done that, or it should have been here, that could have been me, because this is the story that all the guys tell us. Oh, that could have been me. I had that idea. I could have done that. Should have done that.
Yeah.
They never do it.
Well, an interesting one's quite recently actually is a good friend of mine that started an Amazon education business, and I first met him going back now 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And when he first got back from overseas, from the US, and a mutual friend said, rang me up one day, said, listen, I got a mate down here, he just came back from the US, come down to Broad Beach, we're having a drink, and I think you guys will get on real well. So I sat down, that's when I met Adam, and he created this Amazon education business.
Teaching people how to sell products online.
Teaching people how to sell products online in the US Amazon market,
Yes.
before Amazon in Australia. So I bought the course, did the course, everything went well, but I was busy with other businesses, life, and sat on the back burner, dabbled in it a little bit, but didn't take it 110% serious. Part of the Facebook group, the rest of it, time goes by, and next thing you know, there's people coming out of the woodwork, a year later, 2 years later, doing $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $400,000 US sales a month, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I was one of the first guys that bought this program, right? And here I am, and I didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I did a little bit, but not enough. I did not do enough, right? I didn't just start. I started, and then I stopped.
And what happened?
I use excuses. I was telling stories to myself, right? Telling excuses to myself like, oh, you know what? If I set up a product, you know, the Chinese will just come in and copy it, because that's an issue, right? That, you know, the Chinese factories will just come in and copy it, and you know, it's not going to work, you know. And meanwhile, I'm working in the other businesses, which are bearing fruit and everything is going well. But a big goal of mine is, you know, to sustain income, and you can be anywhere you want in the world, right? And we were starting it. I was starting it. You know, I wanted my missus to get started in it, and we just kept telling each other stories of why it wasn't going to work. And then I didn't realize until after it, right? But then when I started seeing all these people becoming successes, and what I was trying to do is find a perfect product, perfect time, right?
Like perfect moment.
Yeah, perfect moment
Doesn't exist,
right? And this is what I was doing. I wanted to find a perfect product that had the best margin at the highest price with the most amount of sales. It doesn't exist, right? And then I was talking to these other people who said, you know what, we just go live. This is what they say now. Just go live, right? And now obviously this is something you're looking into now as well, and you know, you're a lot farther ahead than me on that type of business at the moment, which I'll get you to explain as well. But just get started.
Just started. Nike's slogan.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
Do it.
You know? Yeah, just do it. And the same thing's happened to me recently with the gym. You know, I just got started. Working out. Yeah, working out.
You've been talking about it for ages.
I've been talking about it for ages, and I was a little bit. Then I joined at 45, and I was doing good. But then I'm like, you know, I want to do a bit more weights, and then I was just doing weights the way I thought I knew how to do weights. And then I took it serious now, and I got a strength and conditioning coach on.
Let's talk about that quickly.
You know,
so you're doing F45.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it for a bit.
Yeah.
You get addicted to it.
Yeah.
Then you stop because you're okay. I want to do weights.
Yeah, I want to do weights.
So you joined the gym, started pumping.
Yeah.
Like pumping iron.
Yeah, I started pumping iron.
And
you know.
now, what have you done?
So basically, I'm like, you know what? If I'm putting an hour and a half, you know, 4 to 5 days a week into this, I might as well make sure I'm getting, you know, maximum potential out of this, you know. And
so tell us you've actually engaged.
So I've engaged a strength and conditioning coach, so a 22-year-old kid, really, that is just
jacked,
a beast, a beast. And he's put me on a bit of a program, you know. But I love it because, like, my confidence level now, compared to say 6 weeks ago, is at another level again.
The streak's gone up.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
getting
you
stronger, and I have a goal. I have a goal in mind, right? So. I'm saying this on the podcast because I want accountability from everybody.
What's your goal?
So my goal is to be down to 82 kilos and 12% body fat. I'm 86.3 and 17.5% body fat. So that's my goal. I've just started a week and a half ago with the strength and conditioning coach on a bit of a meal program, but a sustainable meal program. So that'll be fun. But this is helping me with my mindset and my confidence and reflecting in everything else I do, to the point where my wife today, we were driving to Brisbane for an appointment, and she says, "You've changed as of late. You know, I feel like you've turned a leaf, and it's not just, you know, business. Oh, money. It's a little bit of, there's a bit more to that now, because I was so stressed about it before. You know,
I love that you've recognized that.
Yeah, and I think as well, going back to what's one of the things that you wish you would have done that you didn't, that you didn't back yourself. And now going back to think about it now is with the Amazon business, I was thinking to myself, you know what, and why it didn't succeed at that time, and I'm looking at it again, is because it didn't give me instant money gratification. It was like I had to put in time and effort now to bear fruit in the future.
It doesn't make sense to some.
Whereas I was doing stuff at the time that was bearing fruit for me now that I didn't like to do.
Yeah.
But it was bearing fruit now. And you start thinking to yourself, it's self-sabotage.
Everyone gets in that situation.
It's self-sabotage. And I now with the podcast happening, training is happening, like I feel like just I'm evolving at the moment.
Yeah, brother.
So like it's fucking love, honestly. And now obviously you and I are spending a fair bit more time together.
Rubs off when you're right.
And yeah, I love it. Like it's, you know, and now I'm just like, surrounding myself with high-level people. You know what I mean? Like I'm the type of guy where I used to want to be the smartest guy at the table. You know, to make myself feel big and get my King Kong chest out. But now I want to be the less educated person at the table. I want to surround myself with heavy hitters in all industries, whether it's personal development, whether it's earning, whether it's in relationships. I just want to keep learning, and I think doing this podcast is going to make me accountable and get my story out, your story out, and everyone else that we're going to be interviewing story out to influence dads primarily, but anyone that is just happy to listen to the podcast.
That's what I love. People talk about. They're like, I always talk when I'm coaching clients. They're always corporate guys working these jobs like you are, and I always say, tell me something that you'd love to be doing that you're embarrassed to tell anyone about. Love to be doing. They go, I don't know. I said, no.
Good question.
Embarrassed about it, wouldn't tell anyone about it. Tell me, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Something just fucking crazy, like, and they're like, okay, and they're thinking, they've finally come up with something so left of center, so far removed from what they're doing now, and then they find joy and passion in it, and they go, you know what, I'd love to do that. Stop me from doing it. Start off on the side and start doing it, and they go, okay, one client now who's doing that. I'm going to tell you what he's doing. Works really hard in sort of like in a FIFO role. I asked him that question, and he said he loves baking.
So not a manly thing, right? Like really.
He loves baking.
So imagine the story he's telling himself.
Loves baking sourdough bread.
Wow.
From that one conversation to where we are today, he's actually sold his first loaf. He's meeting people within the industry. He's going on wine tours, meeting guys, making starters, all this stuff. Like people are drawn to it. Tapping into that unconscious and going, what do I love to do, and following that passion, right? So, 3 weeks ago, I was getting my hair cut by Joey.
Yes.
This is about this story. I think I'm a little bit opposite to you. Like, there's some regrets that I've had, but I've certainly been the guy to actually follow through with that. And I like that about myself. Finishing tasks, like writing a book and finishing.
Yes. See, I'm total opposite.
A lot of people are.
Like honestly, like if I start a book, I probably have at the moment 5-6 books that I'm halfway through. And you know what? If I go back to the books, I don't even remember what I just read in the first half. Like it's ridiculous. But again, it's just making me focus. I'm sorry, keep going. I just find it funny because it's like total opposite.
That's what you got to do. So like I knew I had a passion for health and wellness, so I followed it. Became a health coach, followed it. You know what I mean? That sort of stuff. But then I was sitting there, as we joke about this now, and it's going to be funny joking about it in a few months' time. But last weekend, you would have seen on my Instagram squeaky car wash code.
Yes.
Everyone thought some people messaged me saying, "Is that a joke? Like, what are you doing?" I say, "No, it's real. I started a car washing business." And they go, "What do you mean?" I go, "Well, I was sitting in the barber's chair 3 weeks ago talking to Joey about I need my car washed. Dirty car, how good would it be you're here, get your hair cut, you get your car washed, you don't have to go to 2 places, you save on time, all that type of stuff." And Joe's going, "Mate, it'd be so cool. This guy comes around every now and then, but it's super expensive, but no one does it. You should do it." And he goes, "I actually joked about talking to Nicoletta. They'll get a zillion bikini girls to come and wash cars." But Nicoletta, if you haven't listened, he's not going to do it. And I said, "Yeah, right. So you got 4 chairs. You get the possibility of, it's 1 in 4 washing their car every hour, say for 5 or 6 hours. That's possibly $300, $400, $500 you can make. No one's doing that a day." And I'm like, "No one's doing it." I said, "Oh, I don't do anything Friday, Saturdays."
Yes.
Or I don't.
Yes.
"I'm doing it." He goes, "Nah, you're not." I go, "Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going to be here next Friday. I'm going to come in with my washing stuff. I'm going to wash cars."
So I want to ask you, stop you there now. I want to ask you a question. Now, I want to ask you 2 questions. First question is, go back to old Hugh.
Yeah.
Corporate Hugh. Now, if you had a friend that was in your position before, right? Corporate job, high paying job, bit of ego, and then all of a sudden, and you were still in that spot, but yet you had a friend that went down that road and they came to you and said, "Listen, I'm going to start a car wash and I'm going to wash the car." What would you? And I'm going to wash the cars myself. What would you have told them? Then
"You're crazy. It's not going to work. You're kidding yourself.
Now, did you have people tell you that?
Yeah, close mates of me tell me that.
Right now,
Recently.
yes. See, so fast forward, when you're in that chair and you just decided to say, yes, I'm just going to start. What went through your mind? What went through your head? Like, is it something that you've been working on yourself? Is it the personal development? Is it just backing yourself, or is it not being judged by people because you're your number one raving fan and you don't care what anybody else thinks now? What is it?
It's all of those things. It's being confident in my own skin. It's not caring what people think. I used to care what people thought about me, what car I drove, what I talked about my watch actually.
Yes.
And I was making up today. What watch I have, what school our kids go to, and now I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm the most educated car washer around. People don't know that about me. It's this guy that's washing cars. I'm able to humble, and I think that's
Humbling.
I'm conscious enough around myself to humble myself to do this. But the thing is, Eric, no one's going to remember me doing it in 3 weeks' time when I've got employees. Yeah. Are they? Washing cars? No, it's a business, and I've created this business. So, and that was my foresight, like you were saying before. I could see into the future, having known what I know now, look into the future, okay, there's a business here, not just me washing cars for the next few weeks by myself.
You already have a plan. You have a long-term plan that's scalable.
Yes, and I think that's as a result of all my life lessons and business failures and all that type of stuff. I think it's a combination of everything I've done that's enabled me to make that snap decision there, so I can see an opportunity.
Yeah. So if I understand what you're saying correctly, what you're saying is backing yourself and not caring what other people think.
There's two things there. You've got to not care what other people think.
Yes.
Because that is not a reflection on you, it's a reflection on them and how they feel. They're inadequate, they're jealous, there's tall popper syndrome, they don't have any foresight, right? It's their reflection on you, it's not your reflection of yourself.
And that's something I'm still getting over. I'm still...
That's your ego, right?
It is an ego, and I battle with it every day, because I still feel like, I need to be portrayed as this, perfect
developer,
develop business,
that's all
entrepreneur.
bullshit,
And that's why sometimes I think to myself, like, depending on who I meet, and the question is, so what do you do? What do I do changes.
Actually, I want to talk about
what do I do changes.
So how
heavily.
do you say that? If someone goes, what do you do, Eric? What do you
It depends who the person is. If the person is someone of influence or someone that I respect a lot, for instance, I tell them exactly what I do because I want to then get feedback from them because I do a fair few different things. Not that I'm heavily involved in every single aspect of it. Sometimes people go like, just what do you mean you do this and this? Like how do you have time for it? They don't understand because they'll just have a job, they'll work 9 to 5, and that's fine. And I don't want to look like I'm bragging because that's not what I'm trying to do at all. If anything, I'm trying to open up people's minds. And a lot of these, businesses that I'm involved in has been through opportunity. The opportunity coming because I believe I attract opportunity. It just happens all the time to me. It's just something that I'm accepting.
Because you're out there looking for it. Is that that reticulated activated system?
It is.
Talking about spotting those opportunities.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like you're thinking of a Volkswagen Bug and you buy one, or you're thinking of the next thing you know, they're everywhere. And I'm very good at that. That's one thing I'm very good at. But at the same time, it can cause a lot of distraction.
Yes.
I have a lot of ideas. My mind works a million miles an hour, and sometimes I got to come back down to earth and say, listen, it's great because this guy's got this and he's trying to invest in this, and this guy wants you for this, but you can't do everything. And you need to be very strategic. So I'm being very, very strategic now in anything that I do. And a big thing with me, it needs to align right with my values now, not just about money. It always used to just be about money for me.
And that's what
chasing money, and that's what was. But at the end of the day, money does not bring you that overall happiness. And I'm telling you that, like I know from experience, I'd rather make less money and do something that you're 110% passionate about. Like this podcast is starting. This podcast in 18 months could be like, we could be sitting here like Ed Milet and saying it's one of the top podcasts in the world. But to be honest with you, whether it earns $1 or not does not matter to me, because this has nothing to do with monetary for me. You know, it has everything to do with just getting the story out. You know, getting the authenticity out to everybody.
I love that, mate. I absolutely love that you've sort of adopted that mindset, because I think, I could be an example of that too. I quit this high-paying corporate role to find happiness.
Yeah.
Found it. Yeah, so it's really awesome.
You find it for a short period of time. I find it's unsustainable happiness. It's short.
Yeah, it's short bursts of it, but if you're constantly striving towards it, if you've got some goals around it, that's where goal setting visualization helps.
And that's something I'm working on. You know, with your help. Yeah. That's what I mean about surrounding yourself with good people. You know, that are going to bring you up and not bring you down. You know, and he was giving me some documentation as of late. You know, to work on myself with gratitude and goal setting, and that I have been filling out. I'm not quite done yet because I'm really thinking about what I'm writing. I just don't want to write things down. I'm actually, again, I'm not trying to get it perfect, but I'm just really trying to go deep.
I hope this is not a story you're telling yourself that causes procrastination.
No, it doesn't. But maybe partially, but you know.
It's funny you say that too, because that's what causes the procrastination. A lot of stuff, just overthinking things.
Yeah, you know what? I'm more of an overthinker now than I was before. I think it's
maybe strategic, right? It's educated.
That's what I tell myself. It's strategic because whether that's me just talking to myself, giving me the excuse or not. But I think you do have to be strategic in anything you do, because you only have so much time, and you want to make sure you're spending your time in the right places that fulfill whatever you're trying to fulfill in your heart. Really, that's what
counts at the end of the day, doesn't it? That's just starting, just doing.
Yeah, just starting.
Getting out of procrastination mode, get out of the perfect moment syndrome, because it's never going to be perfect. Just start. You know what I mean?
It's unbelievable how many people that I know that are still telling me the same stories as 10 years ago. They're going to do this or they're going to do that.
And they work on
I feel bad. Like, I almost want to say, you're not going to do it.
Then they work on all the other things but that. They go, I want to do a website, I want to get this done, I want to get business cards done. It's like, how about you actually just start? How about you bake the bread? How about you wash the cars?
Yes.
How about you just do it? Don't worry about the website, worry about that later when you're making money.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think that's where people get caught up. They get caught in the fluffiness or the show-offiness, if that's a word, of what they're going to do, rather than actually what is going to create it.
But again, it's because I still think they're not in a frame of mind of confidence. They're still
afraid of what people are going to
think about them. What are they going to say about them? They're going to be judged, And a lot of people, again, like our friend Adam, he put himself out there over the last few years, and he gets heckled all the time. He gets trolled on social media, and you're this and you're that and you're that. So you got to have thick skin. You got a real thick skin to have all those things bounced off you, because really it's like you just said before about the people that aren't happy within themselves, and they're just trying to take it out on you.
Keyboard warriors are wherever they
Keyboard warriors, no one knows who they are, and they're just trying to bring everybody else down. And unfortunately in life, most people want to bring you back down to their level. I think they don't want to see you supersede them in success.
They need some more of that. That's why you got to find things that enable you to develop a certain mindset around that, right? It's like seeking the right friends, listening to the right audio books, podcasts, reading the right books. But that's what the message we're trying to get across today is that you just got to back yourself, want to do something, and just start it. Like that side hustle, that business. Don't die with any regrets.
Yeah.
That's what Dad used to say to me all the time. It's like, don't regret anything. Just play full out. Just go for it. Regret not being a champion swimmer. But that
wasn't deep down in your heart, though, right? You were doing it for someone else, and that's the thing, right?
Doing it for someone else.
Yeah. A lot of people do things for other people. Like it's unbelievable. And I remember hearing a saying once that walking in a graveyard, all you're doing is walking over millions of dreams and aspirations that have come to nothing, right? Because they're dead now. It's an idea that's come and gone and forgotten about. And it seems cliche, one life, you have one life, live it to the fullest, and the rest of it's
so true.
And I think we're all trying to find what that means. I don't know it.
So we're
You
searching
don't know
for
it.
No.
We'll die searching for it. But you know what? As long as you're searching for it, I think the journey.
Constant mission for greatness.
Yeah,
mate,
journey.
whatever that may look like. It could be greatness within yourself. It's like some people just could work and be monks, but they found true happiness.
Yeah.
Other people
They don't care about anything.
And I think as you grow older, you think those ideals change around yourself, don't they? I think if you've spoken to you or I, if we spoke to each other 6, 7, 10 years ago, we would have spoken something completely different. But now that we're at these stages of our lives, we can certainly look at life with a different view.
Yeah. And especially once you have kids, us being dads, it changes everything.
It's a game changer.
Like how you speak in the house, how you speak to them. I've been raised with a very, highly scarcity mindset, when it comes to money, when it comes to success, money doesn't grow on trees, it's always the bad person, every movie you watch or every cartoon, the rich guy is always the bad guy. He's usually the big fat guy nobody likes, that's filthy rich, and he's the one trying to, he's trying to screw everybody, and being raised like that, unfortunately,
it indoctrinates you, right?
Like it scars you. It really does.
Yeah.
That's why you have to
start at an early age. Like we can now transform the lives and mindsets of our kids by bringing this more personal development mode around the house and in the environment, right?
Right.
What I'm trying to do with Bo now every morning is that I'm trying to get her to express gratitude. I'm like, darling, what are you most when we come home at night, when I read her a story and put her to bed, I'm like, what are you most grateful for today? Pick 3 things. And like if she gets in a moment where she's like, because they're a little bit spoiled, as they all kids are, right? Like you got to pull them back into the moment. You know what I mean? Try to explain that true happiness is not found in the brand new LOL doll or the squishy. You got 1,000 of it at home, which is our fault for buying that stuff for them, right?
Yeah, I think.
So it comes like we're teachers, we're role models for our kids. We need to speak to them properly. We need to encourage them to love themselves, that they are enough. The way they are. Doesn't matter if you've got buck teeth, you're a little bit overweight, curly hair, frizzy hair, red hair, brown hair, whatever. You just got to love yourself, and I think that all comes from home.
Like you look at a lot of successful people out there today, and the mainstream calls or thinks what success is. But you look at some of them and the way they look, right? There's a lot of artists now, musicians, right? Before you had to have that look. It's not like that anymore. Like I can name multiple people right now, which I won't, that aren't a little, aren't in the cliche of, that's an artist or that's a musician, you know what I mean? Oh, very good looking or tall, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Now they're coming out with a beautiful voice. Doesn't matter who they look like.
Look at Ed Sheeran.
Perfect example. Like look
What
at
a
the guy,
story, right?
Like he's a stud. The guy's a stud. You know what I mean? Like, do you think he cares what anyone thinks that he's got, red hair? Like he
We would
does
have
not
grown
care.
up the other way, though.
Correct, but
Now
now there's something that within
Shifted
him
that
that
needle.
shifted. It shifted. Or else,
Interesting.
there'd be an Ed Sheeran, for instance, that no one knows about.
Yeah. I never had
That
it
is
all
just
the time.
you know what I mean?
I always think about that too. This might sound a little funny, but you always look at when you get blessed by God in relation to your abilities. There's never what do they call it? Like a triple threat.
Yes.
The voice, the looks,
Yes.
and the whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's very rare.
Oh, very, very, yeah.
Well, that's the be all and end all, right?
Yeah.
But buddy.
It's amazing. Like we're in an amazing time.
Yeah, so I think everyone's just gonna hopefully they get some inspiration from this podcast and they just actually start doing something that inspires them. It could be writing a book, it could be journaling, it could be starting a website, it could be starting that skincare line you wanted to do, it could be doing anything. The opportunity's there for you to do while you still got your corporate job or you're working. What are you doing at night time? What you Game of Thrones? What if you could be working on this side hustle, this business? Hopefully one day for it to be something. I'm trying to tell my sister this at the moment. You know what I mean? She's stuck in this high-paying corporate role, and she's like, she's going through the motions. And I'm saying, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? She's like, I don't know. I was like, what are you passionate about? You can do anything.
She's probably scared of telling you what it is.
I got it out of her. It took me a lot of pride.
Probably sourdough bread.
But it was like doing kids stuff, kids toys, kids books, and it's finally a kids store. Okay, now we're somewhere.
Yeah.
A start thinking about it, and it's like planting the seed, right? So people listening, ask those questions to your partner, or ask them to yourself. What really gets you excited? What are you passionate about? What is a hobby of yours that you can expand into something else if you're stuck in something that you're absolutely soul-sucking your life out of you?
Because that, how you will be acting from that job, you know, and reflecting on everybody else, you know, will be ridiculous. You know, and it's sometimes, and this, I see it in myself, you know, like I was doing things in the past that, you know, like I said, was making money, but I just hated it. I don't like it. I'm like, why am I doing this? Oh, because I was telling myself stories, you know, I gotta be successful, I gotta save money, I gotta make sure I don't, you know what I mean? Like, put food on the table, because that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
Now, raised 110, like, I would never regret the way I was raised.
Your parents
Like, more love.
Yeah,
Like, I got raised with more love than, you know, anyone can even imagine. But they only do what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was only basically when I came to Australia, it just kind of expanded my mind and started meeting different people and successful people. And at that time, success to me was just money, flashy cars, beautiful houses, you know. But then you really start.
Bad.
No, because I mean, I still love beautiful houses. I still love flashy. I love all that stuff. That's just the way.
But it doesn't define you anymore.
No, correct. No, and but now what defines me more is that you talk to these people. You know, and I've been reading some people that, you know, are just love what they do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they have a lot of money, but they're just, you can tell when you're talking to them, like their soul is like lit up.
It could be anywhere. It could be something at Macca's, it could be something at the
Like,
shop.
like it's just, you can just see that they smile differently, their eyes look different.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard to explain.
Talking about that, it's one thing I'm really conscious about now. Do you talk to random strangers? Do you actually engage in conversation?
Always.
And check out girls or guys at the supermarket? Do you create conversation? Do you do that stuff?
Always. Like, it's so funny. I was listening to the podcast yesterday, and the guy that was running the podcast was basically saying the same thing. You know, I talk to everybody, and it related to me a lot because he mentioned Uber drivers. Like, any Uber I get into, I know their whole life.
This is my real job.
Yeah, I know their whole life story.
I'm an accountant.
Yeah. I know what they do, where they're from, how they've done it. They've got 5 kids. They got no kids. I'm very confident within myself to approach anybody.
What country would do that same conversation I had with the Uber driver with anyone? Not by anyone, but like
some of them can't even have it with themselves.
Yeah.
They can't even have. They're not even comfortable. Think deep in their mind on what they love or what they want. Why? Because again, they feel like I'm going to be judged by telling you that I love baking sourdough bread. You know, in 5 years, that guy could be killing it making sourdough bread. Why? Because you're the one that pushed him to it.
And this is, I just opened up that little guy. I planted the seed.
Yeah, but you planted. No, what I'm saying. No, but you planted the seed. Right? And this is what we want these podcasts to be about.
Plant seeds.
Planting seeds.
It's a quote actually. I say like
we want feedback. We want to hear the stories. You know, like I love hearing inspiring stories on podcasts or just from, you know, I read this book, it changed my life. Like Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why, you know, he
Have you
sells
ever been
out.
to Tony Robbins?
I haven't. Life changing, huh? Like,
yeah, all that stuff's life changing.
Yeah.
What you got to get out of that stuff, we'll probably talk about this in another episode, personal development, is that what you take away from that, you then have to implement.
Yes.
You take it away, action it. You take it away, you absorb it, you feel good. But those who drop away from it, they haven't taken action.
We all know what to do. A lot of us know what to do, but we're just not taking.
Like you know intrinsically what to do in relation to be healthy.
We
What
all
do you have
know.
to do?
We all know.
What do you need to do to be healthy? Eat well and exercise.
Eat well, exercise.
Limit your sugar.
Don't eat macros.
Yeah.
You know, like
What do you have to do to be happy?
do what you love.
Do you love surrounding yourself with people?
Fine. But a lot of people don't know what they love.
Yeah.
And this is still like when people say, even to me still, you know, what are you passionate about?
Yeah.
You know? What I'm passionate about is people talking,
Yeah.
because I talk too much. And I just listened to a podcast about listening.
Yeah.
And I was like doing everything opposite of that. And I've actually used a couple of techniques in this
I've noticed it.
in this podcast to overcome that. And it's just amazing.
So I think that, especially today from our first initial episode last week in relation to owning your story, that's the first part of someone's journey. is to actually reflect back on their life thus far and just go, you know what, I'm so proud of what I've done, whatever that may be, and where I've come. I'm not going to take it as a failure. I'm not going to get sad about it. It's brought me here.
Yes.
Whether you're in a good spot, bad spot, or a different spot, you've always got an opportunity to grow, prosper, and be happy. And to do that, you need to be confident, find some self-love, find respect for yourself, and just begin, just start.
And we'll be interviewing a lot of people, you know, from different walks of life to help.
I think in about 2 weeks' time we'll get our first person
all these,
to come in.
you know, all your listeners out there to help you, you know, because I know it's going to help me and it'll help you. I don't know if I just said help you or help you.
Help you. Well, I got a coffee the other day at uni when I was lecturing. She got mine at Hugh. She has H-U. And then I call you out, who? I'm like, I think it's is that an almond latte?
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Your almond latte, yeah? No sugar?
No, of course not, mate.
But it tastes really good with 2 sugar, doesn't it?
Never had.
But again, it's decision, right? It's, we know what to do. We know that getting 2 sugars is not good.
It's like in the car when I was driving here, I was just going to put the radio on because I heard a really good R.A.D. Friday, and I thought, oh, I'm going to listen to this song, and I'm like, you know what? I've heard it before. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm going to put a podcast on. But I did.
Yeah.
The old Hugh would have listened to this song.
Yeah. Roll down the window. Put back to seat.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
So if you want to take anything away, the takeaways from today are, what are your takeaways?
Don't wait for anything to be perfect.
Yeah.
Just get started. I mean, that's what the whole podcast was about.
Yeah.
But try and find...
Seize the day.
Yeah, seize the day. Or hey DM, I love that. And try and find something, whether it's a podcast, whether it's listening to this podcast, for instance, or whether it's a book, anything, even on YouTube. It's amazing what you can find on YouTube as well for motivation and inspiration. But you need to be confident in your own skin.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not dealing, but listening to people now, like myself, that is growing with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm still growing with it. It's a journey. Like if I were to sit here and say I'm 110% confident in my own skin, I am not nervous whatsoever right now doing this podcast, I'd be lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm still working on myself, and it's a journey. And just again, there's not a time that is just like, oh, I'm perfect. I'm 100% confident. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? Like that'll probably never happen. Like 110%. But the journey of getting there, for me at the moment, it's so fun, man. Like honestly, I still can't believe we're in a mobile barbershop right now on a Friday afternoon doing a podcast. You know, and we're uploading the first one today.
You're going to do that, right?
Yeah, I'll do that. I got to figure out. I got to figure out how to do that, but I'm going to do it.
So we're going to upload it on the podcast, so it's like iTunes, Spotify, and something else. Yeah. And then we're also going to have a YouTube channel.
Where we'll take clips.
And we'll post on our social media handle. So at Hugh Simpson and _ Eric Machado _
Yes, that's my new one.
And we'll show you how to get to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
YouTube. It's probably going to be called like something like the R.A.D podcast,
I would say,
Hugh and Eric show, or something. So
Something
find that, so you can actually watch along with us, watch our expressions and the stuff that we do, or you can just tune in and listen.
Yeah, again, and we're doing that on purpose. You know, it's for us just as much as it is for you, because again, we want to let everybody know we're not perfect. You know, I'm not wearing a suit with a tie. You know what I mean? Like my hair is not perfect right now.
Yeah.
You know, we're real. It's authentic, and this is why I have no fear. I have no issues with us. You know, putting it on YouTube, everybody watches. It's very easy to stand behind a mic and talk, but once you actually videotape it and put it out to the world,
millions.
Like it's going to make us grow massively,
and you guys will, because we hope add so much value to people's lives. So tune in next week for episode number 3. Oh, you'll be an episode behind us, so we're recording episode 3. You'll be listening to episode 2. Thanks for joining us. The R.A.D podcast, Real Authentic Dads, brought to you by the Mobile Barbershop Depot. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram. And
awesome.
We'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you very much, brother.
Thanks, Legend.
Again. Peace.